Morning.
Morning.
Hold.
Hey.
Hey, hang on. Let me unmute
Can you
it.
hear me, Sam?
I just gotta unmute it. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, there we go. Hey, our internet is completely down at school, so I got you finally on my phone,
Yeah.
so I can't even use the internet.
Oh, that
So
sucks.
hopefully they'll join in here and we'll get it on the phone. Here we go. I need my little phone stand to be perfect. Seeing this right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can hear you and see you.
All right. There we go. Okay. I think we have everybody. So if you can hear me, let me know. Perfect, because our internet is down at school. So I just wanted to make sure that we can all hear each other.
I can hear you.
All right, perfect. Okay, so obviously we're here for Kyle on the bus, and a couple things before we get started is, we're gonna just kind of go through everything, and Samantha and Jorge are gonna discuss some of the things that are a little upsetting to them, and we'll go through that. But the biggest piece is for the whole situation is we're trying to make it better, obviously, and I know all of us are working hard to make it better, so I'm not saying that. But again, I just want, we got to get through a couple weeks here and get the summer and the rest of the next school year start off on a good note for everybody, and then we can hopefully put this bus concerns to rest, and we can move along and have some more enjoyable days here. So Samantha and Jorge, I'm going to let you guys start and just kind of go through some of the things that are upsetting to you two.
Well, first off, and I know there's gonna be disagreements on the stuff that we observing on how we feel our child is being treated. And one of the things in which we've discussed with you in that one-on-one is the fact that he carries a Hispanic last name. That's to start with. And with the autism, we've noticed a lot of stuff that we're not too happy to even hear, like the incidents from May 13th.
Excuse me.
I don't know exactly. I know a gist of everything that was said based on the recording that I got.
I'll stop this. Did you got it turned off?
That's something that should not even be said, regardless of the mechanics of it all. It should not even be said, no matter what.
Can you repeat what was said, Samantha?
Well, I did manage to hear that conversation between Christian and Mr. Wilkins, and I caught GIF by GIF on. I hate to say it. What about mental health? I did catch that part. And for him to say that Kyle should know better and all that, he doesn't know it. He doesn't know anything. He doesn't understand. The stupid comments by the aide and driver need to stop. Because I'm really getting sick and tired of my son being referenced as a bad boy like every other day.
Or a boy, he got a name.
Or boy, he's got a name. Or, you little. That's an aggressive tone. I've been through situations like this. I went through it in school, and I'm not going to let my kid go through it. The cops being called,
they're not going
to do nothing. They've already told me and Jorge that there's nothing they can legally do.
We're advocating for our kids. So he can defend himself. We're going to do it for him.
Yes. As far as face masks, that's not going to happen. He won't keep them on. And, whatever suggestions that I have made, which Mr. Ellis is aware of the suggestions that I made to, kind of alleviate some of this behavior, with pulling up on the side of the street to where I can get him off, That's just mainly to stop traffic from being backed up. But they proceed to make a big deal and give me a hard time. And throwing their stuff on the ground, which I have on body cam footage.
Yeah.
There's no reason for it.
We're not allowed to pull a bus over to the side of the road. We have to hold our lane, okay? It's illegal for us to pull to the side of the road. I want you to understand that part. That's why we stay in the middle of the road.
Even if the cops made that suggestion as well. Because the bus can fit down Cottage Court. If garbage truck can fit down here, street sweeper can fit down here. And I'm not saying all the way up on this road for door side service, just enough to get it on the corner where I can get my kid off the bus.
And we don't need any service. What is it? What they say?
Door-to-door
Door-to-door
service.
service. We don't need that either.
And we never asked for that.
No.
I just made a suggestion with Mr. Ellis, to keep traffic from being backed up because your aide and driver don't want to do their job. Because according to the ADA, the job of an aide is to make sure they get him fully ready to get off the bus. It does not become my responsibility until he steps off that bus. And that's according to the advocates.
Right? He's been getting off the bus. We've had a few good weeks. So
Yeah.
Well,
But it's just a combination of everything adding up and leading up to what happened.
what you gotta stop is well, the way I'm gonna say is like this: you people trying to treat my kid like piece of meat, like disrespectful. If you're gonna be disrespectful to my kid, and you don't want your aide to get talk nasty, you gotta be respectful to our kid, and we're gonna be respectful to your driver and your aide. But if they don't do it, we ain't gonna go that way either. I'm gonna do whatever I'm supposed to do to keep my kid safe, and I don't care who's driving the bus. That's gonna be the way it's gonna be.
And we pretty much know everything that goes on. Because like I said, we have the recordings. We know everything that's been said.
Okay. So a couple things, especially in our conversations, Samantha and Jorge, I will leave it up to CNF about coming up with a plan if they're going to pull on Cottage Court or not. That's, not a decision that the district would make as of right now, I don't believe. I think that would be up to the bus company, so we'll let Christian and Mike, devise a plan for that. So there are some things, yes, that I understand on the bus for sure, and some things that have been said
Yes.
that we have heard, obviously.
Yep.
So I get that. The other piece is, like I said, I'm not really sure what CNF's plan is. I do have a feeling that there'll be a new driver next year for that run. I'm not sure who that will be, but I'm pretty sure that CNF has already mentioned that there will be a new driver for that bus. But again, that's their decision. The other thing is Samantha and Jorge, I'm totally on board with you guys because you have to advocate for your children, and I get that 100%. We've discussed that, but I also know that we need to hopefully not have conversations about the bus driver and the aide in front of Kyle, because we know, Samantha, as you said, we don't want Kyle exposed to things on the bus. I also don't want him exposed to your true thoughts on the bus driver and the aide, because that does transfer to him on the bus, and then him not getting along.
They look for it. They look for that. If they weren't bad to him, that doesn't happen. They gotta be respectful to him, and we're gonna be respectful back to them.
Yeah. They want us to respect them, but they also got to do the same to us.
It go both ways. That doesn't work one way and the other one doesn't.
I agree 100% with you. I'm not going to disagree with that statement. Because we've had these conversations. So Christian, I'm not sure if there's anything at this point that you're thinking of or thought of, or any comments.
He's on mute.
Your mic is muted, Christian.
I'm sorry, can you hear me now?
There you go, perfect.
Okay, excellent. Yeah, in regards to the Cottage Street location, now Mike, you would know more than I would. What is the main reason why we don't go down? I'm not quite sure.
Well, because
length.
First of all, because when we did go down there one night, there was a very, very abusive language used against my driver and monitor. They were cussing them and all that. It's not just that reason. We as a whole never took buses down in there.
Is it something to do? Is it with the size of the bus we're using, or is it something with a smaller vehicle?
Yeah, the size of the bus we're using, it's a little more difficult to get in there.
What really makes it difficult, Christian, is if there happens to be a car in the turnaround. For the most part, though, the bus has navigated down that street in the past, but if there is a car there, it does make it difficult.
And like we said, we don't expect door-to-door, but on a day where he's really, just alleviate traffic back up, because I've been out there when they've had issues with Kyle. It backs up traffic, and it's a safety concern, because I also have my youngest son I have with me, and I can't just leave him sitting on the sidewalk because they don't want to have him ready, even though he's spitting at them. He's got autism. Deal with it. Otherwise, you just need to retrain your driver and aide.
So one thing, though, it would be beneficial if it could pull down Cottage Court. That would really
That bus is not.
decrease some of the issues.
That
in the
bus is
back.
not that bus is not that big.
Really would.
It's not a long bus. It's
It's
small
a small
bus.
one. I mean, like I said, Marsha doesn't always pull down, but if it's nasty out, where the wind's bad, or where trees are gonna break, she's not gonna leave me out there to put and have myself put in danger if a tree falls and breaks. Because she actually does care, and Kyle's been good for Marsha every time that she's drove. Marsha has no issues with him. And as I pointed out to Marsha, I'm like, Marsha, he likes you.
It's the way that they deal with him.
It's like, me personally, I think before any aides and drivers get hired, I personally think that they need a full-blown, full-day sit-down training on actually how to deal with these kids, with autistic kids. Because otherwise, it's just going to be the same issues all over again. Just because you got a degree in it doesn't make you an expert in it. Me and Jorge, we don't have instruction manuals when it comes to a kid with autism. We work with what we got to work with. We figure things out on our own. However, in a professional manner, I think it should be mandatory that these drivers and aides get the proper training on how to deal with the kids with autism. Because just having a degree in it, it's just a piece of paper.
Right.
Well, the thing is, Mary.
Let me just touch on that point real quick. Twice a year, all drivers and aides are mandatory refreshers, and typically they try to rotate students with special needs in there. So they do go through refresher trainings, and obviously being a parent of a special needs student, it's ever changing. I mean, there is no manual to it, and it is difficult to say the least. And you try your best, you do. It's tough. I get it on both ends. So we're always trying to brainstorm, whether it's trying to work through triggering or what sets a student off, what works for them. But at the same time, it's difficult, especially, in this current climate with COVID and everything. I know the spinning's tough. We've dealt with it for years. We have students that spit, and it's difficult. It is. That probably was the main concern for them right now with COVID. So it makes it tough. And I think the only thing is that, and I don't know, Mike, can you speak on this, that maybe they're just looking for help? What, Samantha, can they do? You would know best.
Leave him alone. If he gets in those phases, just leave him alone.
I hear them when he started throwing tantrums and said to leave him alone. They keep picking at him. You
Yes,
don't do that.
they
You leave
keep
him
picking
alone.
at him. Just leave him alone, because otherwise he's gonna end up getting irritated, and he's eventually gonna end up hitting one of them,
or
or biting them. That's something that we want to avoid. But that have him keep going at, that's just gonna tick him off
Pushing
even
him.
more.
So what are they doing on the bus when Kyle's having a bad day? Are they going back there and egging him on, or what?
They don't even go back there. I have on body cam footage. They don't sit anywhere near him.
Oh, so they are they leaving him alone, or?
They don't really go anywhere near him. They don't have full view on what he's doing, like the whole thing with getting naked. They're not anywhere near him. I have the body cam footage. She goes, buckles him in, sits right back up in front behind the bus driver. She don't sit anywhere near him.
And then when he takes his
So
clothes off,
Yep. When he's having a bad day, though, what should we do?
Just stay in close view of him, so he's not doing something he's not supposed to. But just kind of just let him, if he happens to pound on the window, you just gotta let him go through that
you keep arguing with him.
emotion. He'll eventually come out of it, but you just gotta give him breathing room.
Sometimes, Christian, I think what happens is they might say that he's being a bad boy. Kyle, don't be a bad boy or something like that. That would definitely trigger him also.
That's not a good thing. Bad boy.
So I have addressed that with them, that not to interact with him when he has, little issues or whatever, not to make comments. And I have discussed that with the driver and monitor both, okay? And I also have tape footage on that bus, and I have tape footage where she does go back and try to assist with Kyle. And then, after she kind of gets him settled down, she goes back. She's still in view of him. She can see. She doesn't necessarily sit in the same seat with him. She gives him a space, but she does watch him.
Because
that's not what Mary Cariola told us.
And one time, he didn't have the pants on. He had the pants on, and she yelled from back there to the driver, "Oh, the pants are on! The pants are on!" So that means that she ain't watching him.
Yeah.
That tell me there that she is not watching him.
And two, I'm gonna have to contradict your story, because we heard a slightly different story from Mary Cariola.
What did Mary Cariola tell you, Sam?
That basically that the aide is not within view of Kyle.
No, and they don't have the camera
we've spoken to the transportation lady.
Did they bought a camera or whatever?
Yeah, supposedly they bought a camera, and the one day they couldn't get it working.
Yep.
But like I said, that day where we got aggravated, which was the same day that Mr. Wilkins came down, where I had told the aide and driver, I had reported them to the president and vice president and every other state's person here in New York State, which is, pretty pathetic that I have to do, but I'm just advocating for my kid.
We gotta do what we gotta do.
But the fact is, we know she's not anywhere near Kyle. We've been told that by Mary Cariola. Every time that Mary Cariola makes the suggestions, they don't listen.
And Mr. Wilkins said, what was that? What he said?
And then the whole
about they trying to help. What was it?
We spent the whole year trying to help. Yes, we've been doing our part for an entire year, but it seems like what part we give in, we're not getting the same mutual respect back from the other party.
And we ain't gonna.
And I can only take so much. I've been biting my tongue, but they don't start lipping with me, I won't start lipping back. They start getting aggressive and mouthy with me, yes, I'm gonna stand like they did
what was it?
when that whole cussing people. They got mouthy with us first.
They got mouthy.
I'm pointing that out. They got mouthy with us first.
So one of the biggest things, though, moving forward, is we're gonna have to decide once we start moving forward, especially if there's a new driver on the bus, that we have to start our first initial thoughts of trying to be positive.
Yes, and if
Okay.
there is concerns, communicate
No,
it.
I'm with you 100%, Samantha. But I know that, you know, it's been about a year and a half that we've had some issues on the bus, and that's okay. We're trying to work through it. But I know we need to start with a positive thought process after we finish this school year. Okay.
Yeah, and we.
All we're
Because
asking for is respect.
No, I get that, Samantha, but I think, you know, like I said, in a couple weeks, I'm pretty sure things will change. You know, at least with a driver. I'm not 100% sure what CNF will do, but I'm pretty sure there'll be a driver change. And then we have to just start positive at that point. Yes, I get the respect thing. It needs to happen all the way around for everybody. But I think we need to start with a positive thought and not continue to think about the past stuff that has angered us, you know, because that'll continue to anger us unless we try to say, okay, we need to start fresh. I know we still got a couple weeks, and I still know it's going to be, you know, hopefully we get through it comfortably. But I think once there's a change made, I think that we can all start, hopefully on a fresh note, give everybody the benefit of the doubt. You know, we've had a couple good weeks right now with Kyle. Things have been, knock on wood.
Well, yeah, considering he's out of meds into the 19th.
Another thing is,
Go ahead.
they don't need to talk to us, and we don't need to talk to them. We don't want to be their friends. We want them to do their job, and we do our job.
Yeah.
That's the only thing. I don't need no friends.
Yep. We can make that happen a lot. That can happen.
That can happen. I love that. That happen is the best.
And if there's
Because I don't need anybody talking to me.
And the pickup and drop offs, you guys kind of got to work on that a little bit more. For the fact that I spent an hour and a half the one day out there, which was not good for both me or Jaden. Because it's constant picking up one time and then not picking them up at the one time.
Different times.
Well, what you have to understand, and I'm trying to make this.
And it's not so much.
They do not get us out every day the same time. They just don't. I wish they did, but if they don't, you know, when CNF pulls up, they don't say, "Oh, there's CNF bus, I'm loading them." It depends where we line up in line. And my drivers leave very early to get the first spot they can. Get in line. I mean, 12:30 to leave in here, 12:20 sometimes, to try to get in line to get loaded, and then they have to go over and pick up another student, and that takes some time. Okay, so they're not always going to be consistent. They try to be relatively close, but they're not going to be consistent every day the same time.
Well, I'm talking more of the
Traffic,
morning.
You know,
I'm talking more of the morning. Like it's not like they.
well, we're working on that morning route. I've dug into that, and you know, we will try to get that morning route figured out. Got a new driver took over, maybe not familiar with the route. That's an easy fix. But I'm just talking about the afternoon. We can't always guarantee an exact time. Okay.
It's no more in the afternoon. It's just the morning. The afternoon we know
It's
that's
the
going to
mornings.
happen.
Well, yeah.
It's the mornings.
That's an easy fix. I mean, I talked to the driver and make sure they get there.
And then that one comment which Mr. Ellis is aware of, them making reference to me looking like I wanted to shoot them.
That's not
The driver, that's not a good thing.
You don't have to say anything about any of us.
Exactly.
They
And, you know, acting up or not, whether he's the only kid on the bus, he's got to be brought straight home because that's just going to throw him off even more.
Like
And if someone can't be here from the school,
like
they're going to have to deal with me either
they
way.
went by.
Yeah,
There
that's
wasn't
the
no
day I'm
kid.
talking
It wasn't
about.
no kid in the bus. It was Monday. It was only him.
Yeah.
And they didn't have
Regardless
any
if
reason to go
anyone
by.
from the school is here, I want the kid home. I don't care if anyone from the school is here. They have to deal with me one way or another. You know, there's no reason to blow by just because there's no one here from the school.
Oh, because
They got jobs they gotta do too. They can't always be down here.
Well, there goes back to whether it's our end or whether it's your end. it all goes back to a thing called respect. I'm going to respect you. You're my customer. And I want them to be respected as well. We'll respect you. And I have talked to them about not engaging, not in, you know. So, I don't know about all the passing there. I know one day they did pass. I spoke to them about that. So, but in the future, we should be much better, okay?
Because another thing we know, I gotta throw that out there too, is our son is not the first kid that they mess up with his life or treat him bad.
Like
we talk to people too.
Yes.
So
Okay, well, we can't focus on other people right
no,
now.
we try. I try to.
But it's just a pattern of
I
behavior.
try to throw that out there because
Pattern of behavior.
I want to.
But like I said, I've had multiple conversations with Mr. Ellis. I've kept my mouth shut every single time. But as I said, the stupid comments, whether it's making some stupid remark,
She look cool with the glasses.
yeah, I look cool with the glasses because I do have. Yes, I have some form of recording device on me, one way or another.
We have to.
And that's not just
That's
because of this
proofs.
bus issue, it's multiple issues that I've had go on. But we're always going to know what's going on. We're going to have a recording device on them no matter what. Because we can't physically be on the bus. We need to know what's going on. He can't defend himself. He doesn't know how to put his shoes on. He doesn't know how to
They said
say,
he can put his shoes on. From where?
He doesn't know how
Never.
to talk. He pretty much, and I know he gave you Christian lip the one day on the one recording. But it's just,
We gotta get.
if you guys work with us, we'll work with you. If there's any kind of concern, do not hesitate to call and ask questions.
And call when he's naked or whatever.
Yeah,
when he's-
so this way we can, have
know.
underwear prepared. Of course, we've been putting underwear on over his pull-up, so it's been a little bit more easier. He wears a belt, which I don't understand how the one day he got the belt off and the underwear off in the first place.
It's tight. And we
And
told
it's
him to put
tight.
it tight over there.
But all I'm
Tight.
asking, if you guys do have concerns or whatever, you can get my cell phone from Mr. Ellis. Feel free to call if you have any questions. Just call. I'm not gonna bite or anything. I'll respect you. You respect me. If we need to discuss a better thing for Kyle, then we can do that. But if there's any concern or if you guys are running late because Mary Carriel is letting out late,
Let
just
us know,
please
yeah.
let me know so I don't get freaked out and I'm not waiting an hour and a half outside.
We got another kid that he had.
Yeah, because Jaden had to go to the emergency room last night because he had heat fatigue, and we don't want to be waiting out there for a long time. So if they are running late and it is because of Mariola letting out late, just please call and let me know.
Communication.
Mike, is that something that's easily possible?
Talk about getting phone calls if he's running behind or something, or what was, I didn't catch all that.
If there's any concerns or if Mary Carriel is letting out late, just call and let us know that we're running late. Mary Carriel got out late, just so I know ahead of time, so I ain't gotta spend an hour and a half outside waiting.
I can try my best to put that in place.
Yeah.
I'm not always informed when that happens.
Yes.
Mary Carroll doesn't always call me and say, "Hey, by the way, we're running behind today." They just don't. I don't
Well,
know
yeah,
why.
or just have your driver call you, when
Yeah,
you're
I
up
can
there.
get that done.
And I know sometimes Mike does drive, so we'll have to come up with a plan probably for that communication line, and we'll figure something out for that. But if that's something that we can do fairly easy, and at least give Samantha a heads up that hey, they're gonna be there a little after 4, so she's not standing out there for half an hour. I understand that piece.
And like I said, any other behavioral concerns, please do not hesitate to reach out. We can talk this out, come up with some kind of something, especially with the new school year coming, because, you got the 2 weeks off before and after summer school.
Right.
You know, all the kids are going to be out of their routines, you know, just so we can have something in play before the following school year and, you know, just kind of come up with a plan for the beginning of the year.
That works for me, Christian and Mike. What do you think?
I agree, absolutely. I think the main thing going forward is let's keep communication open. Let's work together. Because look, we all want Kyle to go to school. That's not the issue. We've been doing this for many years, and we've transported thousands of students. We do a lot of special ed runs, and the main thing is getting Kyle to school. I mean, that's the best place for him right now. So, however we can do it, let's do it. I mean, we'll try to jump through as many hoops as possible. And working with Samantha and Jorge, I mean, whatever you can come up with to give us a better perspective or just tools that we could use, tricks, whatever, all each for that.
That's why I bought that belt for him, and we asked Mary Garriola to put it tight, not tight enough that it's going to circulate. The circulation is going to, but tight enough that he can take his pants off. Because that's what.
Well, that's knock on wood. That's been okay for a couple weeks.
Yeah, I think that belt is helping. I think a little bit.
I agree with you, and I think the belt was a good idea by you guys.
Yeah.
All right. Samantha, Jorge, anything else you want to say?
No, that was it. It's more like we want our kid to be treated fair and
equal,
like everybody else. He is human. We all human, so we gotta work together to do this, so we can do this. Because we gotta everything go more smoothly if we respect each other.
Yeah, and you know, just kind of, you know, as far as the comments, you know, like I said, I've been keeping my mouth shut. Any issues, I've been, you know, emailing you.
They don't have to do that.
But you know, the comments.
You don't have to.
It's something, you know, you guys should probably adjust a little bit more, because you know it gets frustrating on my part for the fact that, you know, they can make all these comments, but they get mad or irritated when I try to defend myself
You have to defend
by
yourself.
calling the cops. You know, it's like
They're not gonna do anything. They say.
like I said, you know, it's ridiculous. There's no need for it, especially in front of both kids. You know, it's not just Kyle the one day, you know, it's been said in front of the other kid too. It's just common sense, you know, you don't make a stupid comment, you know, in regards to one of the kids' parents. It's disrespectful.
Not acceptable.
Okay, so what we'll look into then is more consistent time on the pickup in the morning, right?
You know,
We're going to look at and address comments being made on the bus. And again, like, don't engage with Kyle, don't call him a bad boy, those things. Don't discuss, you know, you, Jorge, your glasses, etc.
Yeah, that's not. To me, that's not their business. Whatever we do is our business, and they do their business, we do ours.
Yep. So we'll have again another discussion with them about the comments on the bus, and we'll look at possibly being able to pull on a cottage court. And again, those are some things that, you know, we'll have to work out with CNF whether it's, you know, able to do it all the time or not. But
well, like I said, if it's not all the time, but on the occasions that he is struggling or whatever, you know, I can understand, you know, picking up at the end of the road, that's fine. But on the rare occasions where he's really struggling and having a rough day, to avoid that traffic buildup, you know, that would be more sensible. You know, I'm not looking for door to door, but, you know, if he is having a rough time in the afternoon and whatnot, you know, I can, yes, you know, that'd be advisable, especially, you know, if he's going through the phases where he's getting butt naked or any.
But I think he's doing better, so.
He's doing a little bit better. I mean.
Yeah, I agree. He has been. So, and then hopefully maybe we can set up a communication line that if if they're running pretty late for you, Samantha, that you don't have to stand out there a while. But again, we'll have to figure out that communication line and make sure we can have it from the bus to DNF and see if we can come up with a line if he's running significantly late for you.
Yeah. Or just basically, you know, if they do have some concerns or questions and stuff, you know, do not hesitate to reach out, you know. Because
All
usually...
right. Anything else?
No, I think that's gonna be it. So we want to get that out of our chest.
No, that's perfect. That's why we did this. Christian, Mike, any more comments?
Should be. We'll try to work more on everything that we have listed here and see how we can go. I mean, we got a couple weeks till the end of the school year, and then try to work this through for the summer.
All right.
Sounds good.
Well, thank you then. Thanks for joining us. Samantha, we'll be talking soon, okay? Well,
Yep.
have a good weekend, and we'll talk to you guys here, and thanks for joining us.
You too,
How's
thank you.
Jaden doing this morning?
He was fine earlier. I haven't been over in the room lately yet, but
Did you
Okay.
get that email?
yep, I got that. I sent it off to the nurse and Mrs. G.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr.
All
Ellis.
right. Yep, have a good one. See you later.
You
See
too,
you later.
thanks.